Okay, guys, welcome to our monthly call. I'm really excited to have you guys here. I just want to really quickly go over a few things in case you guys aren't aware. We have on Monday a Meal Prep 101 group, which is going to be followed by a 5 days of healthy eating group. I've been finding that a lot of people go into the healthy eating groups on like a Thursday to start Monday, and they've never prepped in their life. They have no idea what they're doing and they get overwhelmed. So I thought if we did like a week of meal prep and then went into the healthy eating, it might be a better setup for those like brand new people that are trying to change their lifestyle. So that will run like 12 days. So like 7 days of meal prep followed by 5 days of healthy eating. I hope that that makes sense. And it's free. So just make sure that that person doesn't have a coach or that coaches you. So make sure you're not like in other people's customers, obviously, and get them. And then that's going to transition into a paid group. So our March paid group is going to be called March Monopoly Madness. We're going to have some prizes based around like Monopoly stuff, which I think will be sort of fun. And then we will do an intro to coaching group like 2 weeks after that. So you can start inviting your challengers to that. Just a quick reminder, we have the Nike giveaway, which Cindy, myself, and Jen Iannuzzi are covering the cost of that. So anyone that signs up as a coach between yesterday and March 1st, so it lets you kind of finish up this month and start March strong, gets entered to win a free pair of Nikes of their choice, so their size and color and style that they like. We didn't like buy a size 6 pair of Nikes and are just going to give them to someone. So I hope that that makes sense. And so without further ado, I'm going to introduce Blair, who we like literally just met in one of the groups that we're in together. If you guys can mute yourself, if you're not muted. I don't know what that was in the background. Who is that? I don't know. Anyway, we met in one of the, I think, 3-star and above groups that not Janelle runs, Mindy Wender runs. And Blair is a 5-star diamond in her first CBC and a 1-star diamond in her second CBC. And she has 7 lifetime diamonds, which is amazing. She is a 2015 elite coach, a Success Club 10 legend with 33 months at Success Club 10. So if that doesn't talk about consistency to you guys, like I don't know what does. I mean, that's sort of amazing. She is a 6-figure earner, and she's been coaching for 3.5 years, which is awesome. So I'm really excited because I have coaches on these calls that I like know really well, and I truthfully don't know Blair that well. So it's really exciting for me to I have got my pen here to sit and take some notes also. And she's going to talk to you guys about mastering your mindset because I talk to you guys a lot about technical stuff and skill, and I think that this will be really helpful for you guys with your mindset. So I'm going to pin your video, Blair, and go ahead.
Okay. So thank you, Jillian, for having me guest speak on your call. I'm really excited because you're right. Like typically I get to like co-host or get on and guest speak with a team that maybe I've met some of the other coaches. So this is like really exciting. Like I get to see some fresh faces and meet some new people. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about me, a little backstory of me and how I got into coaching and what my coaching journey's been before I kind of dive into the meat of my training, because a lot of what I went through really is going to correlate so strongly to my topic. So when I started coaching 3.5 years ago, it was 9 months after my son was born, and I was really struggling horribly with postpartum depression and trying to lose the second round of baby weight. I had previously with my first, I have a pretty big widespread age between my 2 kids. My daughter is going to be 14 actually next month, and my son is 4.5. But when I had my daughter, I had really packed on the pounds with her. I gained like about 85 plus pounds, and I was at 230 pounds when I had my daughter. And after a year of struggling with weight, I had really started to start working out and found that, I somewhat had a love for fitness and found how much it really helped me because I had postpartum depression also with my daughter. So fast forward to my son, I knew that fitness was the thing that was going to help get me out of my funk. I was having really bad postpartum depression with him yet again, but I was also breastfeeding round the clock with my son. I don't know if any of you have breastfed before or know what that's even like, but I was breastfeeding every 20 to 90 minutes all through the middle of the night for the entire first year of his life. So needless to say, I was exhausted, I was drained, and I was horribly depressed. So I already owned P90X, and I knew that I was like, all right, I really just need to start working out again, no matter how tired I am. I just need to do this. And it was like at the exact same moment that I was getting ready to start P90X again, I met my sponsor coach on Facebook. And she had posted something about, working from home coupled with fitness. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like perfect because I need to start working out. And on top of it, I was also a stay-at-home mom, but we were struggling horribly financially. I was on state assistance. I was on food stamps. We were on WIC. We had everything you possibly can think of, on top of having to borrow over $600 every single month from my parents just to make ends meet. And even still, bills were going late. So we were trying to figure out how can we bring in a little bit of extra money. And I was having to look at potentially going back to work with a child who was literally attached to my boob 24/7. And I was so depressed. The thought of having to go and do a job every day that I could barely get myself going to go, to take a shower, which, mind you, my hair is all wet. I actually took a shower before I got on this call because mama needed a shower. It needs to happen. Sometimes when you're a mom, like you realize like, if I don't take a shower now, a shower is not happening anywhere else in my day. So it had to happen right before the call. So I was like, all right, I'm going to jump head into this. I'm going to get started with this. I was one of those coaches that signed up with the $39.95 because I wasn't too sure about Shakeology. I was breastfeeding a son who had a lot of sensitivities to foods, so I was a little nervous about breastfeeding with Shakeology. So once I got started, I got Shakeology about 2 weeks in when I realized like I needed to get on this shit. And sorry, I swear maybe a little bit sometimes. But I needed to get on this, and it forever changed. Shakeology forever changed my life. It got me off my postpartum depression medication. It gave me the energy I needed to complete my workouts. It made me feel amazing. So you would think that here I am, obviously in desperate need. Sorry, Siri is over here on my phone, obviously listening to me, beeping at me. I don't know why she does that. She needs to stop it. She does it all the time. I'll be in the middle of trainings and like my phone will stop. Siri will start going off at me. So you would think like, here I am, obviously a really big why, right? Like that why that definitely makes you cry. I had huge financial strain on top of us. We really needed to get out of. I was having great success with my program. I was off my postpartum depression medication. I'm feeling amazing. I had results to share. And I was working my business every single day. I was a stay-at-home mom. I was working, at any minute I could. I was working way more than an hour. I was probably working 8-10 hours a day. You would think my business completely exploded, and it didn't. For 7 to 8 months in my business, I never hit Success Club, and I never ranked advanced more than hitting Emerald. And my Emerald was my husband and my mother. That was my Emerald. So for 7 and 8 months of my business, I royally sucked. And the reason why I'm telling you that is that because I had to come to a very big realization that the problem in my business was me. I was the problem in my business. It was my mindset. It was what I was telling myself every single day. And what I was doing every single day, that was the problem. Because it was January after I started as a coach where I was sitting at Super Saturday and they were talking about the cruise, not this cruise, like the cruise from 2014. And they're talking about this cruise to Cozumel. in St. George, and all I'm doing is sitting there in my chair thinking, there's no way in hell I am ever going to earn this damn thing. I can't even hit Success Club. How the hell am I ever going to earn this cruise? Like, everyone else is going to go on this cruise, and I'm just going to continue sucking over here in my business. And it was in that moment that I realized that I was no different than anyone else working their business. When I looked around the room and I look at all these coaches getting up and sharing their success stories, I was like, they're just like me. There's no difference. Why would they be more successful than me? Like, why can't I do what they're doing? Why am I telling myself that I can't do what they're doing? Why am I already basically telling myself I'm going to fail? And it was in that moment that I realized, like, I needed to do some serious work on me and really start working on my mindset. So I'm really going to challenge you guys that if you're struggling right now and you're sitting like in a hole and you're like, I don't know how to get my business going. I don't know how to hit Success Club. I don't know how to do these things. And you're telling me, like, you can go to your upline or you can go to Jillian, like whoever your sponsor is, and you can go to them and show them the list that you're doing everything on your list. You're doing your Power Act activities. You're adding to your network. You're showing results. You're doing all the stuff you're supposed to do as a coach, and you're still not seeing success. Then I'm going to say something that's really going to maybe hurt a little bit. The problem is you in your business. And I know how much that hurts to hear. And I don't say that to be super mean, but I say it because I believe that a little bit of tough love is sometimes needed, especially when it comes to you having a negative mindset and you being the biggest hurdle you probably are in your business right now. So it has to be a serious gut check for yourself to go, you know what? It's me. I'm the problem. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. All right. I'm the problem. Now, how do I fix the problem? So my goal right now is to give you actionable steps. I'm going to give you things that you probably don't even realize you're doing to yourself. And then I'm going to give you actionable steps to change that behavior so that you can get off this call and start implementing good, positive action steps for you to retrain your brain, because that's basically what you need to do right now, is start retraining your brain to have a positive mindset. So first thing you need to first realize is that there really is no difference between you and the other successful coaches you see. There is no difference between them. It doesn't matter how many friends they have on their friends list. It doesn't matter how beautiful you think they are, or how young they are, or how bubbly you think they are, that they are more like extrovert, they're like this, big personality. You think that they're like the most amazing thing ever, or they have like the most amazing upline. Like they obviously must have like a way better team. No, the whole reason why coaches are successful is because they believe in themselves. Even when they're sucking, even when they're failing, even when they're having a hard time, they still truly believe in themselves and know that they can do what other people are doing. They just have to go out there and keep working at it. So you need to remove that stigma of thinking that some other coach is in some way has it better than you in some way, shape, or form. Because I can tell you right now, the last 3.5 years of my coaching business, especially the last year that I went elite, that was not a fun year for me. It was not amazing. I got diagnosed with a chronic pain condition called pelvic congestion syndrome. So I've been dealing with that. I haven't been able to work out as much as I'd like to. My daughter had upper and lower jaw surgery. And I just got told that I'm going to be having a hysterectomy and my left ovary removed. It was a lot of shit piled up on my plate, but I did not let that affect my mindset. I didn't allow that to creep in and, destroy my belief in me. So you just have to know that those successful coaches that you think that you see are having it all better than you, trust me, they probably have a whole lot of crap going on in their life. They're just learning how to weather the shitstorm without the shitstorm weathering them. Okay? You got to just know that. That's all they've done, and that's all they've mastered. Okay. So, like I said, this is going to be serious gut check time, and I'm going to also empower you guys to not only gut check it with yourself, but gut check it with all of yourselves. Like, the whole team has to be on board on this. Tony Robbins, I don't know if you guys are obsessed with him the way I am. I love Tony Robbins. I truly believe he's probably one of the best motivational speakers. When you're really like in a funk, turn on some YouTube of Tony Robbins. He turns your whole life around, I swear to God. So Tony Robbins talks about this, that women, we have a tendency of kind of like wanting to help each other, but almost to a fault, when the other one will say like, oh, I just couldn't get my workout done today, or I just couldn't do my power hour today, or like life was just hard, or my lady flu hits and I just didn't feel good and I just wanted to eat a brownie. Like, we as women start relating to the other woman. We're like, it's okay, like you're gonna do better tomorrow. And it's like we go into this mode of very soothing, loving, which is a good quality have. But sometimes what ends up happening is you guys are doing it to a fault. You guys will start soothing each other into making it okay when one of you is giving up on your goals, giving up on your why, and giving up on yourself. And you have to all stand strong and say, no, yes, you had a bad day. That sucks. And you feel for them, but then you're like, but you got to, pick yourself back up, brush yourself up. Your goals mean something to you. Do not forget your why. Do not let that detour you from your path. So do that together as a team. My team, we know that now. We come together when we see somebody falling, we pick each other up and we're like, don't let that stop you. It's okay to have a moment. Just get out of the moment and keep moving forward. So you've got to do that for each other. And then you have to just know limiting beliefs are never true. I heard that quote like a couple months ago and I was like, oh my God, yes. Like seriously, limiting beliefs are never true. So anything you're telling yourself right now, not true. Any negative thought you're telling yourself, anything, not true. I'm telling you right now, because there are people out there, there's coaches out there that probably have it just as hard as you, if not harder, and they are not letting that negative belief stop them. They're not letting their situation stop them. They are pushing through. So you have to know that anything you're telling yourself, it's just not true. So, okay, so what are the things that you probably are doing that you have no clue you're doing? So number one thing that you're probably doing, you don't even realize is a bad thing, or maybe you do, negative self-talk. But maybe you're doing it in a way that you don't even realize you're doing it. Have you ever gotten a compliment from someone, like even your husband's or another teammate, and they tell you even as simple as, God, you look really pretty today. And you turn around and you're like, yeah, but I mean, my hair, it just took forever to get it done. Or like, my butt looks really big in these jeans. I wish I could fit in it. Blah, blah, blah. And you start literally breaking down the compliment that someone just gave you. You need to be your biggest cheerleader. So you need to flip the script on this. With your mindset, you need to flip it. And this is how you train your brain. You start becoming your biggest cheerleader. You start being that person that talks you up. You don't have to have your husbands or anyone else tell you, or your boyfriends or your parents or your loved ones or your best friend tell you that you're good at something. You're going to start learning how to do that for yourself and be your biggest cheerleader. So you're going to retrain your brain by doing I am statements, writing out, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am a good leader, I am an elite coach, I am whatever it is that you have. Like, sit down and really make a dump list of everything you say negative to yourself, and then you flip the script on that and you write something else that is an empowering I am statement. And then you slap those suckers on Post-it notes and you put them everywhere you possibly can think of, so that it is right in your face all day, every day. I joke around that Post-its are probably like the theme of my life, because I have Post-its everywhere in my damn house. They are by my bed. They are in my workspace. They are in my kitchen. They're in my bathroom, on my bathroom mirror. They're in front of my damn toilet. Like, everywhere you go, I am statements are surrounding me, so that when I'm getting ready or I'm, whatever, go into the bathroom, I am reading an I am statement, and I'm reading them out loud. And you have to have like a physical response. You've got to say them out loud. It's going to sound stupid probably in the beginning. You're going to feel silly, but you've got to start saying it and talking positive about yourself and start getting in the habit of saying these things to yourself and writing them out and being a practice every single day. The beautiful thing too is when you do this and you create this environment within your home. I don't know how old your children are or if you have other kids in your home. My daughter, almost 14 years old, clearly that is not always the most wonderful time. I know it wasn't in my life as a teenager. I didn't feel so good about me. So when you have I am statements everywhere, it's not just creating that environment for you, it is creating the environment for your home. And I joke around, like my mom came over one weekend. She lives in California now, and I live in Washington, and she came up to visit me, and she was like, what are with all these, like, I am this, and I am beautiful, and I am an elite coach. What the hell is that? And I was like, you could be an elite coach. Like, you could really be a coach if you want to, Mom. Like, you know, not just for the discount. Like, let's get you going, right? Like, feel good about you, Mom. Like, let's go. Like, so, like, just, I laugh at it now. Like, other people think it's, you know, like people that don't get it, they think it's sometimes silly, but it's like, I'm sorry. I don't mind doing something a little silly if it actually makes me feel good and makes me, you know, talk better about myself. And it's been able to help me retrain my brain to not be the negative thinker that I really chronically was before in my life. All right. Number 2, overthinking. If you are an overthinker, you sometimes will trick yourself into thinking that this is a good thing for you because you're like, oh, I'm thinking really hard on this. I'm going to put a lot of detail in it. I'm going to make sure it's perfect. I'm going to put all this time into it. Right now, I'm telling you, that's a load of crap you're telling yourself, because if you were confident in your abilities and you were confident in what you were doing, you wouldn't overthink it to the nth degree. You would just go do it. You don't overthink the things that you are confident in. You overthink the things that you are insecure about, that you're unsure about, that you're worried about, that you're like, I don't know if I'm good at this. So you trick yourself into overthinking it like crazy, and you just tell yourself, oh, well, I'm just trying to make it better. No. So how you're going to retrain your brain and flip the script on overthinking is you've got to go out and start building confidence in yourself. And the only way you can do that is by accepting that you're going to fail. You've got to start going out and failing a lot. I failed so much over the last 3.5 years that was the only way that I was able to learn and grow. It's in the failures that you are going to find your path, that you're going to find your way. You have to start expecting failure. Like, I know now, like when everything starts exploding in my life, I'm like, whoa, there's probably like something amazing on the other end of this. I just need to push through it. I just need to get over this hurdle, and I'm going to see the reward at the end of all of my hard work. You have to start looking at hurdles as an opportunity and start getting excited when you see a hurdle come your way. Be like, all right, this is an opportunity for me to learn and for me to grow. It's the only way that you're going to become a better coach, a better leader, a better friend, a better mom, a better wife, is by accepting that these hurdles are placed in front of you for a reason. So don't run from them. Don't get scared from them. Face them head on. Get through them. Learn the fail. And then you're going to start becoming way more confident in your abilities. It's just like in the beginning when you first start going out and talking to people and messaging people, it's kind of scary. But the more you go out and invite, the less scary it is. It's like that with everything in this business. The more you just go out and do, even though it makes you feel like you might poop your pants because you're so scared, like you're gonna like get over it, and you're just gonna start making headway, and you will become more confident in your abilities, and that overthinking will start to melt away. All right. Third thing that you could be doing, jealousy and comparing yourself. This was probably the one thing that really sucked the energy out of my business, because for the 7 or 8 months that I was not doing good in my business, I was so pissed off about everyone else who was. I hated Thursdays. I hated going into the team page on Thursdays. I don't want to see everyone be shouted out for rank advancements that I was not hitting. I was like, oh, great for them. They went diamond. I've been a coach longer than them. Like, freaking awesome for them. Like, I don't want to listen to that. I don't want to hear people hitting Success Club because I couldn't hit Success Club. And the last thing I wanted to do was sit on a national wake-up call and listen to a laundry list of people doing absolutely amazing in their businesses and getting shouted out for it, and me feeling like I royally sucked every day as a coach. I started looking at everything that they were doing, and I went right into that mode of, oh, well, they're prettier than me. They have more friends than me. They're more likable than me. They must have something special better than me. They're further along in their fitness journey than me, so they've got six-pack abs, and I still have mommy tummy. Like, I would sit there and just create all these reasons of why these people were doing better than me, and I just got jealous and compared and just got more down on myself. So what you need to do to start retraining your brain and flip the script on that is you need to start celebrating others. You need to genuinely get excited about other people's successes in this business. I got to a point where, like I said, sometimes you have to have a physical response to retrain the brain. I would get up and I would dance around, turn on music when they start listing off all the names on the national wake-up call, and I'd be like, woo! Like, in my living room, like a total dummy. I was like, yeah, I don't know that person, but good on her. Like, awesome. Like, that's a lot of challenge packs sold. I don't know how she did that, but woo! Like, I would just get excited for them. I started going into my team page. I started voice messaging the people that were going emerald and diamond. I was like, I'm so excited for you. Like, that's so amazing. Like, you know, good for you. Like, I really hope you celebrate that. And I just started looking at it as the possibility that if they were doing it, I could do it too. And I still do this now. Every single coach within my own personal downline, any coach that goes emerald, I voicemail them. I always voice message them. I congratulate them. And any diamond within our whole Misfit Republic team, I am always messaging every new diamond that we have within our whole team wide, because I get excited for them, because you should be excited for each other. You guys are working together as a team. Everyone benefits. When you guys are all excited for one another, everyone benefits from that type of energy. So I got so excited for everyone. And then I would take that energy of being all excited for everyone and seeing the possibilities, and then I would direct it right into, whoa, that's a whole lot that Suri just, like, that's a lot. I don't know what she would have found on all of that. It was like that long of what she copied of me saying. So I would take all that and I would just, like, redirect it laser focused in my business, and I would put blinders on and I would just focus on me and know that, like, I was in my path and my journey for a reason. I could not sit there and compare and wonder why they were doing more than me. Like, I needed to just focus on me, take the energy, get inspired, get motivated for it, and then just go put all that energy into your business and have that joy. So when you start talking to people, you're genuinely excited. So then when you start talking about, be like, our team is so amazing. Like, we have all these success stories. It's just so much fun. Even if you're not there, your team is there, and you get to bring people into that type of environment. So get excited about it and then go out and just focus on you. Don't worry what everyone else is doing around you. You have to go down this path for a reason, and only you can figure out what that reason is. But I'm telling you, the minute you figure out what that reason is, it is truly amazing, because then you really get to help your team in ways that no one else gets to like train them on. Like, my team, like, I always tell them, I'm like, I'm so glad now that I royally sucked for 7-8 months, because now I get to teach you how to not royally suck for 7-8 months. And you know what? If you do royally suck, it's okay. I can relate to that and I can help you through it. Like, that's now how I look at it. I take it as it was a learning experience for me, and now I also get to come on and talk to you guys and help hopefully retrain your brains so that you can break free from that. So you got to look at it as a positive, and then just go out. All right. So last thing is excuses. Now, I'm telling you, I am sure that some of you have got some pretty valid excuses in your life, or these are excuses you're telling yourself that are pretty valid. But I'm telling you probably right now, any excuse you have, I'm going to tell you that it's a bunch of bull crap. That then you're telling me that that excuse, whatever you're telling yourself, is more important than the goal you have in mind with your business. The minute you give that excuse that much power in your business to stop you from sitting down and working a power hour, it's an hour. You can break it up into 15 minutes. You can break it up into 30 minutes. You can break it up however you want to. You can just do the bare minimum. I'm not asking you to go out and work 8 hours a day, an hour. The minute you sit there and say that you can't find the time for your goal, for whatever it is, your kids, you're getting out of debt, you want to feel more confident with yourself, maybe you want your dead-end job, you hate your job, whatever it is that you want, the minute you tell me your excuse, then you're flat out saying that excuse is way more important than this goal over here. That's exactly what you're telling yourself. And you've got to start looking at and there are some things out there, yes, that genuinely, yeah, they're a big deal. Like right now, before I got on this call, I was having kind of like a bad mindset day. I was in a total funk this morning. I wasn't feeling it. Like I said, I'm prepping for my hysterectomy and ovary removal, and I was just not in a good place. But I called up one of my really good friends. She's also one of my, she's a business mentor for me, Rachel Luna. I don't know if you guys know who Rachel Luna is. She's absolutely amazing. And I always, if anybody ever is like, I need a business coach, Rachel Luna is thebomb.com. But she's also a really good friend of mine. And so I messaged her and I was like, girl, I am just in a dump. Like, I am just not doing good. And I got on the phone with her and talked to her. And I was like, I have all this life stuff going on. And typically I'm the type of person that I don't let excuses, because I look at anything, I'm like, this is an excuse. I'm letting it slow me down. She got me to realize, like, you have to recognize when things are genuinely like a big life altering moment, like what I'm about to go through. This is a big life change for me. But you are allowed to do the bare minimum in these moments. So if you really have something going on, like I have a coach on my team, her husband was diagnosed with cancer and she's taking care of him right now. I have another coach who has colon cancer and just had surgery a couple weeks ago. These are all things that are genuinely huge, life-changing moments. But you can still continue to do the bare minimum and not let that thing overcome you so much that you can't just at least work a little. Because I can tell you right now, no boss will ever give you that type of freedom or care that much about you or your children or your husbands or anyone in your life. They are not going to care. They won't. You could have everything go wrong in your life and your boss is going to tell you to get your butt to your job. They're not going to care. So you have to look at that too. It's like this business gives you the ability to have the freedoms to do whatever you want. But you have got to remove those little excuses that you are piling up in your head of why you're not working or why you're not doing certain things, and get rid of them. So a couple things you can do to remove this and retrain your brain is you got to build a deeper why. You've really got deeply rooted to it. I think sometimes people, they think they know their why, but you've really got to make it bigger, so big that those little excuses aren't going to stop you anymore. Maybe put your why right in front of you. I know they talk about vision boards. I wasn't a big vision board person, but like I said, Post-its. I had Post-its all around my computer reminding me of the things that I was working towards, so that I wouldn't let those fears or excuses crop in when I was talking to people. I would retrain. I would be like, oh yeah. This is what I'm working towards. Stop letting this excuse of me not like inviting somebody or doing something, like all those little things that you might be telling yourself that, no, I can't do that. You've got to start figuring out ways to almost kind of like, I call it like booby trap yourself, like have things around you in your workspace to remind you what you're doing and what your focus is every single day. You need to learn to have a little bit of patience with yourself. I think we sometimes, it goes back to comparing. We think we're supposed to be growing at a certain pace that everyone else is. If you go a little slower, you go a little slower. But if you're doing your stuff every single day, you're at least getting something done instead of not doing anything and sitting down and watching The Bachelor and drinking some wine. Hey, I like The Bachelor and I like to drink wine, and I will totally do that, but I at least make sure that I've got my stuff done for the day. That's my reward at the end of the day, that I did what I needed to do, and then I get to go and rewind and, unwind and do whatever I want. You got to start just having that patience with yourself, especially too if you're in a really bad mindset and you are just constantly like fighting yourself, and it's going to have a back and forth game, like when you're trying to retrain yourself, that it might take some time. So just know that, have patience with yourself, but just every single day, just try a little bit more, just do a little bit better. And just know that these hurdles, these moments, they are placed in front of you for a reason. And just start learning to accept that they're there to help you, it's not there to deter you. It's really actually there to help you. Okay, so a couple things that I do want to give you is better resources too, if this is something you really want to dive more into and really, really, really work on retraining your brain and getting a better mindset. Is obviously personal development is huge, but I found that a couple of books that I found were probably the most influential to me were Unlimited by Jillian Michaels. I find that to be one of the best books. It's now probably the one book I actually tell everyone, and now I even have my challengers are reading this book because I feel like it hits so many different key pieces to help people. I also recommend doing it on Audibles because I'm a huge audio person, and Jillian Michaels actually reads it, and I just think there's something about her when she reads it that just is a little bit more even impactful than just reading it yourself. I also think that The Power by Rhonda Byrne is also a really good one to read. And then I am going to give you kind of like a little bit of homework assignment is to go and learn more about upper limits. Upper limits is something that was brought to me by my really good friend, Rachel Luna, who I was talking about when I was working really closely with her. And upper limits is basically like when your brain has almost like an internal temperature of the level of success that it thinks it can take on. So the minute you start to either push for something more than you've ever had, or you hit a goal that you've never hit before, your brain kind of like goes, whoa, what did we just do? Or what are you trying to get me to do? It's pushing it out of its comfort zone, and it doesn't like that. So it almost wants to kind of like start hitting you with like some self-sabotage, where it will want to draw you back into the comfort zone that it knows and it's comfortable with. And so upper limits can kind of pop up in many different ways. People can feel like they're getting sick. People can get really exhausted and tired. They'll get, they go into like distraction mode. They're like kind of like shiny objects. I kind of will get that like that. All of a sudden it's like Candy Crush starts becoming way more important than anything else in my life. And I just want to like zone into Candy Crush. So that's why I encourage you to go learn about it and understand it, because upper limits is something that every single person will hit or is hitting at any given moment. You are going to hit it, especially with working this business. You, at any moment that you're pushing for any major goal, I promise you, you're either going to hit an upper limit in the process of trying to hit that goal, or you're going to hit the upper limit after you've hit that goal. Prime example for me, I hit elite this year, immediately went into this major funk afterwards and started thinking like, yeah, but did I really like deserve that? I mean, did I really like, can I even really do that again? Like, it was like this upper limit of like making me feel like I wasn't capable enough. Like I just started really like second guessing and started self-sabotaging myself horribly right after the first of the year. So a couple resources to learn more about upper limits. Maria Farello, I believe, I always butcher her name. She's on YouTube. She's got a great YouTube channel, but she talks about upper limits. She also has it on her website, but it's all basically comes from the book called The Big Leap by Gary Hendricks. I highly recommend that you read the book. It is on Audibles as well too if you're not a big reader. And I think I even saw somebody told me that there is one on YouTube that they have it like broken up in segments. Somebody's reading it on YouTube. So yeah, so all I have to say now is that I hope that you take all of this and actually any future training and go out and just implement what you learn. I think that that is probably the biggest thing that we don't do, is that we don't focus on implementing the things that we learn. We'll get on a call like this, we'll get all fired up, we'll get our huge takeaways, and then tomorrow you'll wake up and go, well, that was good for her, or that was good for them, but I just don't know if I could do it. And that negative talk comes in and you just don't go out and actually implement the things that you've learned. I always say that they say, you know, consistency is the mother of all skills. I truly believe implementation is the mother of all skills, because you still have to implement being consistent. So just go out, implement what you learn, be consistent with it, work on retraining your brain and your mindset, and lean on each other as a team. And you guys are going to do great.
Okay, that was like amazing. I took a ton of notes. I apologize. My head was down half the time. This is definitely one of my weaknesses, guys, which is why it's great that there's someone who's really good at it to speak about it. And I know that there's a couple people on this call, and actually a couple that I want to listen to the recording, that were sending me messages like, I think this call, she's like talking to me directly. Like, did she like, know that everything about my Beachbody journey? Really good, because I did not have a slow start. I had a really fast start. And so and sometimes I struggle when people are like, I'm struggling, and I'm like, well, why? Just do your 3 vital behaviors and be consistent, So this is really great. If you don't mind, I'm going to ask if anyone has questions.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Does anyone have questions? Are you guys like all in awe like I am? Katie wants to know about why you call it the lady flu, right, Katie?
Oh, the lady flu? I just think it sounds more fun than saying I got my period.
Yeah. Megan, did you have a question? You took yourself off mute.
No questions.
Sarah? She says no. No one?
Sorry, no.
Katie? I don't believe you guys.
I was going to say, are you guys usually a bunch of gabbers? And you're just like not giving it to me?
And by the way, we're wearing the same shirt.
I know.
So funny. It's really comfortable, actually. Oh, shit.
It is really comfortable. I feel like they're getting their gear down better and better every time they release like new clothing. Because I remember when I first started as a coach, oh man, their shirts were like, they were not comfortable. I never wanted to wear them ever, but now I like live in my Beachbody gear.
No, this one's really nice. And a lot of them are made in the USA, which I love, because that's like a big thing for me, like no sweatshops in China. Woo. So I think it's great. It's really awesome that they seem to care. So you guys don't have anything at all. So Blair, what would you say is your favorite personal development book? Would you say it's the Jillian Michaels book?
I really feel like that is definitely one of my favorites, definitely when it comes to mindset. My other secondary probably favorite that I read probably shortly after that, when I felt like I got my mindset where to go, was actually, oh my gosh, now my brain is not working. The Tony Robbins book. It's like when I fell in love with Tony Robbins. Awaken the Giant Within.
Okay.
I felt like it's huge. The book is like this big. It's like a freaking dictionary. It took me like a year, I swear, to read it. It's probably one of the only books I've ever sat and read, but it's really good.
Okay. Yeah, I think we do like a book of the month every month, and I think that Jillian Michaels book is good, and maybe I'll add it to like a challenge for my next challenge group because I think that's really a good idea and something we don't do enough of. I know in our January challenge group we did like dream board stuff, but I know like I'm not particularly good at dream boards. I know you mentioned you do Post-its. Like I'm just not that creative. So like I look at someone's dream board, talk about comparison, and I'm like, that's so pretty. And mine looks like a 5-year-old, like, you know, munched a bunch of putting stuff together. And I'm like, oh, whatever. It doesn't matter, you know? So anyway, you guys have anything before we say thank you?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can ask me anything, even if it's not related to mindset. I mean, by all means, I don't mind. Fire away.
Who's your upline? Just curiosity.
I am in the downline of like Andrea Crowder and Joelle Cease.
Yeah. So are they who's your direct sponsor?
My sponsor is Vicki Roberts.
Okay. I don't know her. Okay. I know Joelle. I like stalk Joelle.
Yeah. Joelle and Andrea, I'm like really good friends with them. They are the sweetest things ever. So
yeah.
They're amazing.
I've been watching Joelle for a while. I use Joelle's compliment comment question a lot. I think it's really good at stuff. So
such a good tip.
Yeah. Anything, guys? Really? Everyone looks like they're
Hard to have a comment on something when you felt like your butt just got kicked for an hour.
I'm sorry, what?
I said it's hard to have a question when you realize your butt just got kicked for an hour. I gotta go lick my wounds.
She's licking her wounds. Katie sent me a message and she's like, I think this call is like directed at me only. And actually, I'm going to give a shout out to Katie, who's been a lot of where you were when you were talking about you couldn't hit Success Club. She's been at like 3 and 4 the past 6 months. And February, Katie has locked in Success 6, which is like really exciting. I feel like it's hard. When you hit 3 and 4, you know what that
feels like. Well, heck, I mean, that's even better than me. I was sitting at a big fat freaking 0 for 7-8 months. I mean, I couldn't even get points on the board. I mean, it was ridiculous. I was like, dude, I suck at this. My husband was not the most supportive of this business. He is now. Like, it's really nice, you know, to have him eat that, you know, eat his own words. Hey, like, I'm right? You know, you want to say it? Like, come on, let's hear it. I never get old hearing him say it now. But I mean, he thought this was a big fat fraud. I mean, we were arguing constantly over it because he was like, why are you wasting your time? I mean, he's like, I mean, I don't want to be mean and say you're not good, but I mean, kind of like, obviously this is like not going anywhere. So like, what's the deal here? So it was hard for him during that time. And that definitely made it even that much harder when you're trying so hard at something and you're just not seeing results. So that's why obviously this is a topic for me that is so close and dear to my heart. And I obviously want to like help other coaches that are in that boat because I totally know it pains me when I see other coaches struggling so hard because I know you don't have to. And so that's why I say it. I know it hurts. It's hard to hear. Like it was hard for me to swallow that pill to go, oh, I'm the problem. Crap. Like no one wants to say that to themselves. It's not easy to say, but the minute you start accepting that and knowing it and owning it and figuring out what it is that you're doing to be your own worst enemy, then you're going to start moving forward. But only you're going to know that.
Yeah, I think that's really powerful. And, you know, I definitely had the same thing you did with like the elite where it was just like, okay, that was really difficult and now we're done. And then I started to like doubt myself, like, oh, did they really think that I should be elite? Like, don't they like make?
I didn't even believe them until they called me. And then I was like, really? Like, and they're like, yes. Like, I knew I had it, but it's like, until they call, they're probably going to call and they're going to tell me I didn't. Something screwed up and I didn't really do this. Like, everybody gets up in their own head. Everyone does. It doesn't matter where you are. That's why it's like working on your mindset is so freaking vital. All the training You can have all the training in the world on this. And I'm sure you guys do have amazing training. I mean, we're not cut too far from the same cloth. I mean, we're all team go-getters. We have amazing uplines through Mindy Wender and Janelle Summers and Christine Breyer. Like, we have amazing uplines all out. So the training is there. It's just whether or not you're willing to do the work and truly believe in yourself to do it. You are the piece in it. So you just got to figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. It's great. Really helpful for me too. Something that I definitely struggle with. We were just doing videos on like our biggest fears. So this is like kind of goes along with that. So anyway, all right. Well, I'll let you go if no one has anything else. I'm definitely going to be posting the recordings. There's a couple people that aren't on this that I feel like are going to think that you were also talking to them. Because
I say everything with love, everyone, I swear.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think it's great. Like, I think it's really important, and I'm definitely like a tough love girl too. I think it's just really, sometimes you need to hear it, you know, like, you know, you talk to people and they're like, oh, I'm not getting anywhere. And it's like, well, you're not, you know, you need to change your, like, there's something, right? There's a piece that's missing. So just getting to the bottom of that. So,
yep.
Anyway, all right. Well, thank you again. And I will be on your call on Tuesday. So I will talk to you on Tuesday. So thanks for coming.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. And it was really nice to get to know you a little bit. Cause like I said, I'm really glad you took me up on my offer. Guys, I just like literally reached out in that group and I was like, hey, anyone want to do a team call mindset? Like, anyone?
Like me?
Yeah. So, you know, like, reach out. Like, literally, we're like, you know, kind of intertwined, but not really. So, you know, make some new friends. So, and then you'll show up in the same shirt and you'll be like, that's awkward. So, yeah, exactly. Like maybe we'll. Yeah, exactly. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Thanks, Blair.
Bye. Thanks, guys. Bye.